Right, it appears as if we're live. This is big news. So, you have to keep me up to date on comments.
Those people walking around the building since you went
Meow, meow. NGC.
NPC.
Yo.
Yes. You know who they are?
Probably about to get some disgusting, nasty
Emma Lee.
Emma B. What's that from? No, that was that truck.
They just sent a bunch of emojis.
Emma is my girlfriend.
Homer sends greetings, Holly and
Homer, where the hell have you been?
I. Tiffany says hello.
Hello, Tiffany.
Being pretty good with the last names. Have you noticed that green card?
Maybe they finally replaced it.
Meow Meow says, I love your movies.
And I love your name, Meow Meow. Can I call you Meow Meow?
Clint says, I love the puppy in the background.
Is that Clint H.
Yes, that's Sable.
Eigenmeyer or something?
Yeah. Homer said, I have been around. Glad to see you both again. Hello.
We were just at cousin Dorety's, and I said, I called you. I didn't hear nothing. I called her on her cell phone because her house phone, which is a battery, cordless phone, it needs a new battery. So it dies almost instantly. So her nephew said he'll replace that, which probably, to be honest with you, you can get cordless phones now for probably at Walmart. I bet you they're a couple dollars. But anyway, I go in there. I said, I called you. And the reason why I called her, I normally just show up at 9:30 on Fridays, but I had a dentist appointment at 9 a.m. So therefore, I would not be there until at least at earliest 10:30. And I knew it would be closer to like this time, 11:15. So I called her and tell her we're on our way. Because another thing she needs is vitamin B6, 50 milligrams. You can order that shit online, but in the stores, they have 100 milligrams or 500 or 1,000, but not 50. So she would have to cut 100 milligrams in half. And I fucking listened to her whine like her home was flooded in a hurricane and she lost everything. Because, oh, I don't know what I have. So I looked online. I can order 50 milligrams from Amazon, from all these different vitamin places. Look, you missed it. The carnival they're set up for. It's probably either just ended or they would already be set up if it was this weekend. And they won't still be there. They're probably setting up for good morning, Monique. So there's a place called the Vitamin Shop. I went in. They had 50 milligrams. They had 100, 500, 1,000, but they also had 25 milligrams. So I bought a bottle of that and I took it to her and let her know. You can take 2 of these a day, but I'm ordering the 50 milligrams and having them shipped. Oh, how many of these do I take? Well, how many are you supposed to take? 50 milligrams. I said, what's the bottle say? 25 milligrams. So it's like talking to a child. I said, so 25 times what equals 50? Hell, I almost went I almost want to give her a gold star. I said, yes. So then I said, I called you to tell you this. Well, my phone didn't ring. She goes, look, when I'm on the phone, you'll come up across the top. I showed you. How many times did I call her in her presence to try to teach her after 5 years how to answer her phone. How many? 11 times I called her standing next to her, and she kept fucking up answering the phone. She was hitting it where all the apps would jiggle, you know, like you're trying to delete something. I say, no, hit done. She fuck it up 11 times. So finally, I showed her how. I said, maybe it's time we go back to a flip phone. Oh, no! Fucking whining. So I was a failure at the vitamins. I had to fucking teach her how to use the phone after. I understand why her nephew, I'm her cousin. Her nephew, I understand why he gets so agitated by her. First of all, he doesn't have a lot of patience. Second of all, he's not the nicest human in the world. But I will be honest when I tell you, his reason for aggravation with her and getting frustrated, I see his point. He says she whines. At 87 years old, she knows how to do nothing for herself because over half her life, her parents did everything, made her meals, you know, did everything around the house. And she just, when something is confusing to her, doesn't make sense, she whines. She's like, sideways. I took the brunt of it today. And it wasn't bad. I just get a laugh out of it, and I like sharing it with you because for some odd reason, you guys get a big kick out of it too.
Meow Meow says his favorite movie is The Mandela Effect.
Yeah, a lot of people like it. Well, there's two things coming up, by the way. Number one, the Mandela Effect is going to be expanded to 90 minutes. It's currently 110 minutes. But we're going to shoot a little more to expand it. Number two, the alien agenda and also possibly undead are going to have some re-edits and then 13, of course. But we're also working on what?
I was going to read it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Clint says, when at the cousin's house, pull out a Churchill-sized cigar, light it up, and say, let's talk about your disappointments.
Let's talk about how I disappointed you. I ought to wait till she's on oxygen, so I just blow up the whole fucking house. And the fucking garbage disposal. A couple years ago during the pandemic, her garbage disposal fucked up. And it's because the shit she's putting in there. And by the way, how I realized this was a problem, I opened her refrigerator and there's bags in there of banana peels, orange peels, and eggshells. I'm like, what the fuck is this? My garbage disposal isn't working. I said, so throw this in the trash. Well, then the animals. I said, what are you talking about? Put it in the trash.
7 cats that she feeds that live outside.
Well, see, here's the thing. She's got a heavy metal trash can there that she keeps bird seed in. But if I got her a lighter weight plastic one with a lid, the trash could be put inside the trash can, right outside the door in a plastic bag. But that she can't figure out how the fuck to do. Let me tell you something. If there was a $1 bill taped inside that trash can, she would open it 150 times a day to get the $1 bill. But so I wind up, she's got some old fucking warranty with Sears that she, by the way, I did find out she pays on every year. So they like replace, if they can't fix something, they replace it. So they sent her a replacement garbage disposal a couple of years ago. I remembered that today. And they came there, and the problem is 99% of the garbage disposals now have a plug on, I have a switch on the wall next to the sink. In fact, many of you are going to say you've never seen one without a switch. But this one works by sticking the cover on it, almost like a drain plug. You stick the cover and that activates the switch and it runs. Well, the plumber I sent there told her last time, you're going to want to get a switch installed. Well, of course, that would cost a couple fucking bucks. So, like I keep telling her, I've had a plumber come there to fix her because her step-in bathtub. Well, you know what? I got to tell you, the more I talk about her, the more I want to ram this fucking car into a tree. The only problem is it would affect you and the puppies. But I want to fucking run into a tree at full speed and end this suffering.
Talk about
So no, because now I'm on this.
okay.
So I got her to get a plumber because she's got a step-in tub. Now, step-in tubs are nice, and they're safer. They're not stepping over an edge, or they can step in, sit down. They can sit in the tub and relax and get washed. But two things. Number one, you got to wait for it to fill. And number two, you got to wait for it to drain to get out. You have to get in, shut the door, wait for it to fill. So the thing was draining extremely slow. And she was like, oh, I was nervous that I was going to get stuck in there and it wasn't going to drain. So she gets fucking Drano, which is the ghetto way of cleaning a clog. Okay. First of all, what Drano actually clean? If your sink is getting clogged by hair or drain, I'm telling you, if you get Nair instead of Drano, number one, it's like probably half the price or less. Nair, hair removal. You can put it right in the fucking drain. Now our drains get gunked up with other shit. So is yours draining in the bathroom? It's not. Well, why didn't you tell me?
Because I did. You said you were going to fix it.
I thought I did. All right.
That's fine. I deal with it.
Well, we'll fix it. Just remind me tomorrow.
I will.
I'm so fucking tired today. The energy, the life force has been sucked out of me by an 87-year-old. That's why she keeps living. I'm telling you, she's draining.
She's like Colin Robinson.
She's draining credits from me.
She's Colin Robinson.
And right, we get to watch that today. She's draining the life force from me like in Cocoon so that she can live. And every day I stop up there, I think she drains.
She came in the middle, but it sounds like a story.
Oh, you Deb, if only you knew. Our Debbie? All right. So, anyway, I'm telling you, every day I stop up there. Do you remember in Interstellar, those of you that saw that, how they landed on that planet and every hour was like 7 years, wasn't it? Well, when I go in there, the reason why I always try and get in and out so quick is because when I'm in there, she starts draining life from me at the rate of 1 day a minute. So if I'm in there for 10 minutes, she takes 10 days off my life and adds 10 days to her, sucking the life force out. It's like Cocoon. And it was like, how did I answer the phone? So guess what? Back to that. After all this shit, the fucking phone, the switch on the side, those of you that got iPhones know where the silent switch is up on the right side. She don't even fucking know. So she had it switched off. I said, that's what you can, and she goes, but I can hear my games. I said, because you're in them playing. That silent switch turns off sounds coming in from, a shut screen or otherwise. So then that was the last two phone calls because I had to show her how to fucking answer after 5 years. I guarantee you, though, like I said, if somebody was calling with $1 for her, she would know not only how to answer it, but to answer it on speakerphone and to set up a special ringtone just for that fucking person. Because hey, so now with the with the tub thing and the drainage thing, I tell her she needs a plumber. And she's like, yeah, I'll just get Drano. I said, Drano's not going to do it. I said, sometimes it will. But anyway, she kept using Drano, and finally she couldn't. It was taking like a half an hour to drain the tub. I said, your ass is going to be in there one day swimming around like, like a mako shark or like Willie, and it's not going to drain. And you're going to have to call the cops, and they're going to see your boobies. And they're going to have to break in. So anyway, I finally get because her bathroom sink stopped draining. And what I told her was, that's not a problem with your tub. That's not a problem with your sink. That's a problem with your drain somewhere along the line beyond the V that connects the two, because it's clogged. So I get a plumber there. The plumber fixed it in the plumber not only cleared the leak, but he went downstairs, which is a fucking horror. I'm telling you, a horror movie. I won't even have to fucking take and introduce any demons, ghosts, monsters. You go in this fucking basement, I guarantee you, if you came out of that house, you went there, you went with me into the basement. When I came out, if we had a camera ready, you would look into the camera, and without acting, you would say, that was the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. There is mold everywhere, water. I told her that the grade around your house needs to be adjusted. Her windows are old. I don't know why she even needs windows. She should just cover the windows. She never goes down there. She has a stair lift. And why? Why are you people doing this to me? There's so many people watching and all that. It encourages me to keep going on. I know, on a Friday morning. Do you people work? I know. I'm just kidding. So the garbage disposal.
I think John got prime for her.
Yeah, that was another guy. This fucking Make America Great motherfucker. Now, listen, folks. I'm going to tell you right now that coming up the next election, and any election, I always research my candidates, and I encourage you to do the same. If you are a person that has bought into the fact that everything is a conspiracy against the former president, that he did absolutely nothing wrong, if you're one of those people that he did absolutely nothing wrong, stop following me, because you're a fucking moron. Number one. Sorry, I do love you, and I'll miss you. But stop following me, because he did do a lot of shit wrong. And he is a fucking narcissist. And there are people that lost their homes near where I live because he didn't pay them for the work they did on Trump properties. That's number one. Number two, if your response when you say Trump did this, that, if your response is, what about Biden? Stop following me. You're a fucking moron. I'm sorry. I love you and I'll miss you. But if that's your answer, if, you can break the law because other people are breaking the law, that just doesn't make sense. Now, let me back up a minute. If fucking Biden and his family are doing fucked up shit, and the Department of Justice investigates it, finds out, they too ought to face prosecution. All right? Don't attempt to assume what side I fall on this issue, because I am actively trying to figure out who in 2024 I will vote for. Okay? And there are some choices in the field right now on both sides. I'm not opposed to voting for Biden. I am opposed to voting for Trump. And the fact that he's leading in the poll. The only reason I can see people, and this isn't everybody, but people are so engrossed by him, is because his views on stuff like wokeness and racist shit. And if you honestly don't think that people that don't look like me do not face hurdles that I do not, then you're being unrealistic. Women, people of color, immigrants, women, people of color, and immigrants have it even worse. All those individuals have it worse than I do, and it shouldn't be that way. When you talk about, oh, build the wall and all this, we got it so great. I got news for you. Have you been to an Indian reservation? Have you read about that? Because every single one of you and me and my relatives were not, even if you have part Native American in you, that's as a result of somebody wandering in here, probably through Ellis Island at some point, or on the, you got getting into this country, but not original natives of this land. And then as they were here, they wound up banging boots with people that were original natives of this land. Got some in you. But we're all immigrants, folks. And you sit here and you say that drugs are coming in. I got news for you. You see shows like Breaking Bad? That wasn't Mexicans making fucking heroin or meth. That was two white dudes. People fucking love that show. And there's other things. I mean, drugs do come across the border from Colombia and shit like that. And you know what? You got to fucking deal with that. But this fucking motherfucker, and you got me so fired up. What? This fucking governor of Texas. Hey, you know, I'm sure Ron DeSantis has done good. I think we're overheating. Now we're still going. But to direct these fucking security, let me try to up this up. I think it's running on. To direct these border guards to throw children, if this is true, to throw children back in with their families and all, and not let them get in the country is unconscionable. And you know what? Let me tell you, any of you that support that, let me bring something up to you. I bet you, say I had 100 people in this room that believed it was okay to throw an immigrant trying to get out of their horrible life into this country. It was okay to throw them back in the Rio Grande. Now, hear me out before you fucking judge me, okay? Let's say there were 100 of you that felt that way watching. I'm telling you right now that if you were to come across an immigrant on the street and you saw their baby that they were carrying start choking on something, you, out of the 100 of you, 95 of you would immediately try to do something to help. And if that meant just calling 911, or if that meant you knew CPR, or you knew how to stop do like a Heimlich or something, or to turn the baby over and smack them between the shoulders, 95 of the 100 of you would do something to help. Okay? Now, listen, you said yourself, yeah, that does not align with the thought process of throw somebody trying to get into this country back into the river. Because it's the same thing. You're possibly letting them die. Yeah, I know it can't be an open door. But you know what? And this is going to sound fucked up. You know how if Mexico won't deal with this, you know how you deal with it? I'm going to tell you something fucking that makes me sound like I should be wearing a red fucking hat, like I'm a total nutcase. I'll tell you, if you cannot control, if Mexico cannot get control of people crossing the borders, and you've got lawlessness, and you fucking invade Mexico, fucking invade Mexico and annex them as part of the United States. Now, because they have their different, I don't know if they're called states or whatever. Yes, I fucking said it. You fucking take and you take and you say, guess what? You're now 10 more United States. We now have 60 United States because we annexed Mexico. And guess what? If fucking Colombia or Nicaragua, whoever's below them, can't fucking get their act together, boom, you go in there. And you don't take and change people's rights or lives or anything. You just say, your fucking government is corrupt. They can't handle it. Why do you think we don't have an immigration problem from the north? I'll tell you what, these white racists will tell you we don't have an immigration problem from the north because Canadians are white. Well, first of all, you better look the fuck around. But second of all, that is a racist opinion to take. The reason why you have it is because Canada has a government that is not corrupt, and it is a democracy. Mexico, I think, is a democracy too, but they're fucking corrupt. You got these, you've got these warlords and these drug czars and all this shit. There's too much money in it, and they're not letting it go. Well, guess what? You fucking start killing off a couple hundred of that. I'm so fired up. You started. How did I get on this? This all happened because she didn't know how to answer the phone. Look what it's done.
Blame Dorothy.
All right, are there any comments before I go over?
Just a lot of laughing.
Well,
I think everybody's just stupefied by the stuff coming out of your mouth.
They're probably looking at me like a person that's, like a moron. I'm just fired the fuck up. I'm telling you, the number one thing, if you listen to me for any guidance at all, I'm telling you that we need to care for each other. If we see someone suffering or in pain and we can do something to help them, we need to help them. All right, go ahead.
What?
Is there anything else? You needed to be here. You handled them.
The old lady gamer
Yes.
says hi. Tiffany Booth says you're fine.
I'm now coughing too. We're home though. Ugh. Do you know that when we go to Doherty's, the dogs get we'll go on Monday and get the shit at the vet's office. Okay? Monday's when they're due their heartworm anyway. They did text me last night.
Are you calmed down now?
I'm better. I'm home.
Today's just been a rough day.
Oh, I've had to deal with fuck up and fucked up right over there. You can't see is our bird feeder, squirrel feeder, and it's a hit, by the way. Sophie sits up in her room and watches the birds all day long, probably licking her chops and imagining how delectable they would be if she could give her fags at them. Can you see the garage door opening behind me? All right, is there anything else I need to say? They're sable. I don't like the colors they burn, actually.
I did that. We can have them in different colors.
My day is better. My day is better already because you people were like therapy to me. It was therapeutic. Look at the baby. They don't give a fuck that we're here.
Every day gets better.
Oh, my day's fine because you guys listen to me. Thanks for letting me back. All right, that's it for now. See you. Love you. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.